Greetings! Greetings, greetings, greetings. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. I hope you can hear me all okay. I'm just gonna quickly switch over to the camera. Hello! It is launch day! Welcome to launch day. Happy launch day. I hope you are having a good one. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for spending some of your evening or your morning with us. Yeah, I don't really have a schedule today. We're not really doing anything. We're just celebrating the fact that Anamnesis is now out. It's done. It's finished. We did it. It's out. Hello, Gabriels. It's wonderful to see you here. Hello, Spartan0064. Hello, Mysterious. Might not be here for all of today's streams, but happy launch day. Thank you very much. How am I going to say this? Gritralengers. Hello, I hope I'm saying that right. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for coming along. So I think the kind of issue today. So I've left the music on. I'm just going to keep that playing underneath. I hope. Let me know if it's too loud. The sort of plan today is just to kind of. So I think the main thing is at some point we're going to listen to. I'm going to put the show on and we're just going to listen to it, which I have definitely done once. I think I'm not 100% sure. Listened to back to front, and with a slight difference this time because normally you said it right. It's gibberish. Okay, cool. I'm just going to call you Grit. I hope that's okay. So we're going to be listening to the series at some point with the difference from normal in that I'm not going to edit it because I can't edit it. It's finished. I can't tweak it or play around with it or add anything else, take anything away. It's been printed. It's been exported. It can't be changed. So we'll be listening to that. Potentially the soundtrack as well. But also I think the kind of big thing I want to check out. First of all, Anamnesis is now available on itch.io. It is also available on Bandcamp. If you go to tincanaudio.bandcamp.com, you can get it there. You also get the soundtrack as well. You get all 5 episodes, plus you get the soundtrack. It's also available on the Tin Can Audio Presents podcast feed. Again, you get all 5 episodes, and then there's a soundtrack mix. So those are all places you can get it from. But the main kind of thing I want to spend some time doing is this was made for the Anamnesis Jam, which was made to celebrate the game version of it, the game Anamnesis that we used to write the series with, and I just thought it would be interesting to. So first of all, we're the only entry that isn't a physical game, which I'm quite proud of. But there's 20 other entries other than us, and I'm interested in having a look at some of these because I don't know, like I got a lot out of playing using Anamnesis as a writing tool. I think using a solo journaling game to actually write an audio drama to write a story. And so I'm interested in seeing what people have come up with as like another as a variation on Anamnesis, as a variation on the game. There is also a new one that Sam Lee, who's the creator of Anamnesis, has made a demo for a new game called Death of the Author, and I'm curious to check that out because I haven't had a look at it yet. So there's really interesting things in here. But yeah, so I think I'm not really sure what order to do things. I mean, I think since we're here, we can have a look. But I mean, before I start talking about start talking about other games and start talking about the series, I really do have to shout out the original game, Anamnesis. It's just a fantastic writing tool. Like I've really got into solo journaling games since I started this project. So it's and I'm very, very happy that I've been able to use one to use one of these games to actually as something other than writing practice, as like to actually make something concrete, which is quite nice. But yes, I would highly recommend getting this game. If you type in command Anamnesis, you'll get a link to it. I'd highly recommend getting it. It's great. There are print versions available, I think. Highly recommend. I'm curious about more journaling games. So if you do know any, please do let me know. I've got like a handful that I'm kind of that I need to play when I have time. I don't know if I'll use any of them to make an audio drama as kind of blatantly as this one. But yeah, it is a fantastic game. And I think also the idea of an Anamnesis Jam where people are actively encouraged to come together and make something else with this game, I think is really good. I think it's a great way of encouraging new people into making things, and I think also leaving it very open-ended and being like, you can make anything. Left the door open for me to come along and go, well, I can't make games, but what I can make is audio drama. I'm reliably informed. So yeah, so thank you to Sam Lee and to Blinking Birch Games and to Anamnesis. So there's a couple of these that I've looked at already that are really interesting. The first one is this one down here. It's called Contact. It's written by Jay Stroutman. So it's gonna be crowdfunding in February, so it's a game kind of. So I don't know about you, but one of my favorite films is Arrival, and this very much taps into that. So Contact is a tabletop storytelling game in which players communicate with extraterrestrials using a collaborative playlist of songs and a deck of tarot cards. Make a playlist together, then interpret the messages from outer space. Find patterns and new meanings in the songs you know and love. So basically, it's you and however many people. You first of all, you use the prompts to build a playlist together, and the idea is that's what's going to that's what you're going to send into space, which I think is a really cool idea. And once your playlist is complete, draw minor arcana to prompt questions both about your group and about the messengers. Use the songs to inspire the answers to the questions. So if you get a lot of inspiration, if you're a writer and you get a lot of inspiration out of music, I think this is a fantastic like extra little tool to have, or a collaborative way of doing it, where you're kind of using music, you're using songs, and you're actively asking questions and looking for new patterns in playlists and in music as well. It looks great. It looks fantastic. Very, very interested to see where it comes in. I will be supporting this when it is crowdfunding. Another print game to add to my growing collection of solo journaling game books. So that was definitely one I was very much interested in. The other one was this one, not Yourself. Yourself is also good. We'll talk about that in a second. So this is called 5-Act Play. It's by Caden Ramstack. And I just think this is a great educational tool, rather than I will I'm definitely getting this, and I want to get it so I can write something with it, Oh, sorry, my cat's just left. So 5-Act Play is a solo role-playing game where the player creates a 5-act Shakespearean play based around drawing cards and using prompts to create drama. Use the tarot deck to create characters, motives, and plot elements. I actually want to do this. I actually I want to use this to write a story. I think I read a lot, like the ones that I have looked at, I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. Oh, that'd be really interesting. Whereas this is the kind of the one in the in the entries where I looked at it and went, ooh, I desperately want to make something with this. This is great. Because also the way it's designed is really good. So this is an overview of the 5-act structure. So it teaches you about the 5-act structure, which is great. It teaches you the difference between comedy and tragedy, and then also you get more in-depth, talk about each act as well. And then you have your sort of plot elements here. You draw your cards, and then that's what happens in the act. You draw 3 sword cards and introduce these elements into the plot, so you can have 3 actions per act, which is really cool. And then draw 1 major arcana card. This card will influence the act in some way, either as a character, plan, prop, or any other component. I think this is great. I think this is a fantastic resource for creating a story. So I'll definitely be getting this one. I'm hoping that there might be a print version at some point, because I think this is fantastic. What a good concept, right? I think this, oh man, like as soon as I was just reading through all the stuff, and yeah, this might be the next thing I write on stream. You know, this is the next thing I might do. Just because, I just think that, it's such a good idea. Also by Caden Ramstack is another game called Yourself, which is I nearly played this instead of Anamnesis for this story. The way it works is that you realize you're a changeling, and when you realize that you're a changeling, you then have to decide sort of who you are. And I clicked on the wrong tab there. I'd like to exit, thank you. You play as a character who has discovered they are a changeling, a fae amongst humans, and through the game you will explore changes, challenges, joy, and most importantly, what it means to be yourself. So I was potentially going to do this instead of Anamnesis, but the Anamnesis Jam happened, and I didn't realize that this was already a hack of Anamnesis. So I think so yes, I think this is another excellent game as well. That I've actually played this one as well. What else we got here? So Anamnesis, we had somebody come in and say hi from Anamnesis. It's a text game. I'll tell you what, I don't know if it has. This is more of a text game. I believe it's a Twitch game. Twitch. Twine, beg your pardon, made in Twine. And it's text based, and you get to. So it's more of a sort of interactive version of Anamnesis. I need to give this a play at some point. There's also some sound in it as well, which is also very interesting. And it seems to be it's sort of smashed 2 games together, which is real cool. So Anamnesis is also looks like a really cool project. I just realized, just looking through this, I forgot to talk about the artwork. I have not talked about the artwork on stream yet. Can we just take a second to realize how amazing this artwork is? This was done by the fantastic Erasmus, who also did the video animations for the Chill Beats videos, the Chill Beats animations. Oh, it's such a good. Oh, it's perfect. It does like a little nod to the original artwork in a really lovely way, and just it's just amazing, just beautiful. Erasmus is a fantastic artist. They are absolutely incredible. And yeah, I'm so happy with it. Like genuinely, I got the final artwork through, and I was genuinely just staring at it, looking at this artwork. It's absolutely brilliant. I love it very, very much. It's great. It fits so well. So yes, I said to myself at some point I want to just yell about how much I love the artwork. And also, it was turned around in a very short space of time. It took me a very long time before I figured out what I wanted the artwork to look like. All the praise to Erasmus for making a fantastic piece of artwork in a very short space of time. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of shouting about other people today. I'm going to shout about how great Mark Galley is when we listen to the show as well. But yeah, what else do we have in the entry? I'm curious about Death. Let's have a look at Death of the Author. So this is also by Sam Lee. A single player Death of the Author, and this is a demo. A single player tarot game about a character fighting for agency. In this game, you play as a character who attempts to gain control over their story despite the wishes of the author. Okay. Use a deck of tarot cards to draw scene prompts, then modify these prompts to change the course of your story. Okay. It's a demo, contains chapters 1 to 3, each with 5 scene prompts. Final version of the game will have 5 chapters. I'm very curious about this. This seems interesting. I need to give this a play at some point. Fantastic. I love that idea of like a character within a game deciding to do something different and change the story. That's an interesting idea. I'm curious how it works with the rest of the how it works with this idea of author and author and character. I'm curious how that stretches out. Okay, I think shall we listen to the series? Shall we do? I feel like I'm kind of stalling here, but I think it's probably better to just go ahead and listen to the series. Am I coming through? Okay, it seems like I'm having a bit of trouble with OBS. Seems to be telling me that my signal's gone. So if I'm disappearing, please do let me know. Yes, please. Right, well, say no more. Give me just 2 seconds just to get that set up. I'm fine. Great. Glad to hear it. Okay. Sorry, I will put my headphones for this. Just turn that off for a second. Okay, stops twice for me. Okay, well, it says we're back. Okay, so there might be a bit of glitching in just a second, but then hopefully we should be fine after that. So I think probably what I'll do. I'm trying to work out what they're. Sometimes I can still hear their voice. It's me! I'm still here! Let me in! Okay, let me get this playlist set up. I'm just going to play it on my computer and add to my playlist. Yep, no, that's all fine. That's all good. Let me just get this all set up. Turn shuffle off, because that's not how you listen to audio dramas. Great. So I think what we'll do is we can listen to this series and then we can listen to the soundtrack as well. We can talk about that. Just to fill out a bit more time. Not with that attitude. Okay. Where are we going? Okay. Let me just turn this up so I can hear it a bit better. Okay, so while we're while we're doing this, I'll just have it on this screen, just so you're not having to look at me the whole time this is being played. And I think can I? Hang on a second. What happens if I? Is this gonna? I might be doing a clever thing here, though. I'm not 100% sure. Let's see what happens. Ah, amazing! Yes. Okay, so we've got a visualizer now. Oh, hello. You coming to join us for this listen through? Sorry, we are joined by my cat Poppy. She's been very loud today. You okay down there? And she's going again. Turning up in her best tux. Stay ready, you don't have to get ready, I believe is the phrase. Right, she looks like she might be coming up in a second, so we can if she decides to make an appearance, I'll show you the cat, because I know that's why you're all really here. Ah, she's gone. She'll be back. They always come back. Okay, so thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for coming to listen to this show. And yeah, let's get started. So this is going to be Act 1. I'm just going to play it all the way through. I'll chat a comment. If people put in comments, I'll chat about them. And if you have any questions, please do ask them. I will hopefully know the answers to them. Mark Galley told me to say that he is sorry he can't be here tonight. He is at a book launch, because Mark Galley is superbly talented. He is also launching a book tonight. So Mark can't be here, unfortunately, but Mark Galley has done a fantastic job voice acting in this, and yeah, I'm so glad we actually got to work on something else other than the tower together, and Mark was very kind in jumping in at the last minute and agreeing to do this, and also being comfortable recording in front of strangers. That I'm aware that's a quite an interesting big ask. But yes, so without further ado, here is Anamnesis episode 1. I hope you enjoy.
You wake up in an unfamiliar place, seemingly within a town or city. You cannot remember who you are or why you are here. All you know for certain is that you are not in your home. When you are ready, take a deep breath and wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up. Wake up. The room smells faintly of burning wood. There is nothing in the room other than the door and the window. The plain, cream-colored paint on the walls has been burnt in places, as has the floor. I am sitting in an empty apartment room, in the middle of some strange patterns drawn in chalk on the floor. They look like small circles, with pentagrams drawn on the inside. I count 7 of them. Where am I? What happened here? My head. The more questions I ask, the more the lack of answers becomes apparent. I don't remember anything. The rain is too heavy to see outside. I stare anyway, watching for answers, clues, anything. I try to remember something concrete.
There was definitely a point.
Something I can
definitely a
grasp
take where
onto,
Mark sounded
something to
very
begin
hungover.
with. From somewhere within me, a word starts to form, like an afterimage of a sound. Anamnesis.
Roll credits.
So, you made it. I wasn't entirely sure you would do it. You asked for a lot with this, and you didn't do everything right. I hope it was worth it to get here. I'm sorry I won't be able to see how you handle it. I would very much like to see what happens next. You're on your own now. I hope you find what you're looking for. And that was worth everything you've lost.
I'm so happy how that bit turned out. I was so worried about it, and like just how like first of all like how amazing Sam's swoon is the right word, like just how fantastic Sam's voice is, and how fantastic they are as a voice actor.
The clothes I'm wearing tug at me.
And then
they are too big for my frame.
Also being able to
appears to be a robe of
like
some
layer
sort,
different takes over it and to make that work as well.
Unfamiliar to my skin. It hangs off me like hand-me-downs from an elder sibling. The sleeves swallow my hands and arms. The shoulder pads pull my shoulders away from my neck. As I shrug off the robe, I recognize more familiar clothes underneath. A pair of black jeans, a green shirt, and a well-worn leather jacket. On the back of the robes, I find 2 of the circles with star patterns inside. Was this protection, somehow? Did I put the robe on? What happened here? The room offers no answers, no clues. I look out the window and realize what I have to do. Glad I remembered to bring a coat.
So that's episode 1. I feel like I need to like. I was really happy with how the sort of community record. I need to find a better name for them, but like the sort of recordings provided by our regular supporters. You going? Yeah. Yeah. So by our listeners, by our regular Ko-fi supporters, the having like I was worried we'd either not have enough or have too many, but it turns out we got the exact right amount, which was great. All those extra voices sound fantastic, and they sound even more so as the series goes on. And yeah, just going on for going on with the series, and what's a name for a person who's using a tin can? I don't know. A dev, I suppose. That's me. Depends what they're doing with the tin can, I suppose. We're rolling into episode 2 now, by the way.
After getting your bearings, you walk around town.
You
know this town. You know it well.
Right, I'm going to remember this time. A content warning for soggy books with this episode. I didn't realize it was going to be such a controversial topic. There's a mention of there is a mention of soggy books, but it's a very brief mention. Look, I'm putting a content warning here, so you're aware. So it doesn't occur till like the second half of the episode, and it's very brief. It's not shown on camera. There's no Foley or anything like that. It's not handled. It's just mentioned as a background, as a bit of background. So listener discretion is advised. Okay.
But you cannot.
I'll pop back to the beginning of the episode. More like tin cancelled audio. There is still.
After getting your bearings, you walk around town.
There's still the line in here that I'm mad about.
You know this town.
I'll talk about that when we get there.
But you cannot remember it.
I was getting food. was getting food. What happened? Look, I was being. Look, I was just. I was just being thorough. I was just being polite. I put a content warning for soggy books, and then it all kicked off. Now I'm tin cancelled. Did you hear that? Did you hear that little meow there? My cat disapproves of this slander. Right, let's get back to the series.
I walk down a flight of stairs and out into the rain. It doesn't seem as heavy now. The street feels familiar. It stirs something in my memory, a loose remembrance of the paving stones, as if my feet know where to go. I let muscle memory carry me. I find myself outside of a temple. I stop for a moment and take shelter under its awning. Above the entrance is an old, withered fresco of 8 swords overlapping each other in a complex shape that looks almost cage-like. In the center of the swords is what looks to be the face of a woman wearing a blindfold. This place feels familiar. I feel I have walked up these steps many times before. There's a feeling in my stomach as I stand under the awning, looking at the temple. It stirs something that almost feels like resentment and bitterness. There is also a second feeling underneath. It makes me not want to be here, to be as far away from this temple as possible. Is it shame? I walk into a square, into what was once a market. There are still lines of wooden stalls set up. Some of them even appear to have their wares on them, shielded from the rain by their awnings. Hello? Who's there? What's going on? Is that me talking? Who am I talking to? Something happened. I turn back and see the temple, watching over me, and know that the two places, and the echoes of feeling drawn from them, are connected, somehow. I turn back to the stall, gazing over the soggy books to see if there is anything that could give me an insight into what happened here, what I found here. What did I do? I feel the temple's gaze on my back, and I turn away from the stall. I wander around town, walking down streets that feel familiar but also deeply wrong somehow, like something is missing. I see no lights in the grey buildings. I see no one walking the pavements around me. There is no sound other than the rain and the wind and my footsteps on the road. I am alone. I am cold. I feel I am looking for something amongst all of this nothingness and there is a distant feeling of anxiety at the back of my mind. Am I looking for home? There is no sense of belonging anywhere I go. Not at the market, not at the temple, not in the room I woke up in. Where am I? Where is everybody? How did I get here? How do I get back when I can't even remember where I came from? Think about the temple and the market. I know they are linked somehow. I remember walking these streets carrying books.
Dry books.
Heavy books.
And dry books.
I remember walking quickly with them. I remember the room I woke up in. I remember reading the books and rereading them. Something didn't make sense, but I wanted to understand. I desperately wanted to understand. I feel like something is being hidden from me. This was my home. This is my house.
And that's episode 2. Justice for Soggy Book 2K23. I also just want to point out, I am still mad about I feel the temple's gaze on my back. That's still... I cannot unhear that now. It's been pointed out. It's just... It made me so cross having to, like, go through the final mixes and listen to that line and just go, nope, that's what it is now. That's just... That's all that is. That's... I feel the temple's gaze on my back. Excellent. Right. The temple's... Yeah, exactly. The temple's gaze. So Spartan 0064, the line is, I feel the temple's gaze on my back. Gaze as in eyes. But Mysterious, who is pointing it out once more, made the point that it sounds a bit like the temple's gaze. I feel the temple's gaze on my back, which is a much different thing, you know? Also, if I can get this working, I am nothing if not a menace. Is that going to work? Also, we have cat. Say hello to my cat. Say hello to your adoring public, Pops. She's come in to hang out with us for a bit. There we go. So you've had your cat content for the evening. If she's still about later on, we can check in on Poppy later. Excuse me. Cat time is over for now. We can do some more cat time later. Mainly because there's not too much series. Okay, so this is the long episode. I say the long episode. It's the one that's 10 minutes long rather than 7. I think this is probably... See, I don't know. For now, very good. I think episode 3 and 4, I think they're tied for like which episode I think is my favorite of the series. I think episode 3 is very much like the sort of dramatic bit. Whereas I think genuinely it's just I think episode 4 has better music, which is, it's not quite as strong an argument, but yeah, I like them. But I mean, I like all the episodes, but 3 and 4 are kind of the two favorite ones for me. So let's hop into those now. I just love how like grainy the music is, and how I've managed to get that nice texture to it.
You manage to find your home. The facade is unfamiliar. You fish the key out of your pocket and open the door.
I stand outside my house. I know it is my house, but it seems unfamiliar and strange. It looks like it has been abandoned for some time. It is a while before I summon the courage to go inside. I instinctively reach into my pocket as I approach the front door and find a set of keys.
Ooh, that was a good transition. I forgot.
The house is dark. How long has it been since I was last here?
Surprised myself there. I'm just like, ooh, I did a good
The
transition.
last time I was home. There was a pair of shoes in the hallway. They are not my size.
The door sound is actually my front door.
Is there someone else here? Something in me leaps at the thought and urges me on to explore the house. My house.
See, I really don't like
It feels
this line
strange
now.
to say that it is my house, but I know that it is
Congratulations on your front door.
our house.
Can you dock someone from the front door sound? I guess we're about to find out. Hello, NHS. Good to see you.
I move into
WD-40.
what was once a study. There is a desk by the window with a bulbless lamp,
The squeaking isn't.
two
isn't
empty
my
cups, and the remains of a notebook with pages torn out.
I do love the. I like the music.
The
that we
far
did for this
wall
episode.
is covered in photographs, from floor to ceiling, overlapping, covering every inch of wall space. I approach the wall, hoping for some sort of clue, some revelation about what's happening. Most of the photos are of two people, in different places, different times. I recognize the temple in a few of them. I see the market in another. Only both places are full of people, full of life. I think one of the people in all these photos is me, though I can't be sure. It looks like they are wearing the same robe I woke up wearing. I try to get a closer look at the people in the photos and try to see their faces, but the faces are all blurred, not scratched out, but faded, like a mist. I feel like I can almost pick out details in the corner of my eye, but they disappear when I try to focus on them. I sit down in front of the wall of photographs. This was my home. This was my study. Does this have something to do with why I'm here?
I think Mark is doing a fantastic job in this episode, in particular.
Who is the other person in the photographs? Did they live here too? Where did they go, and why are they all over this wall? I look around me, and I notice that there are notebook pages scattered throughout the floor. I reach out and start to collect them in front of me.
Still have the pieces of paper.
The first page I look at has a drawing on it, and I recognize it as the design that was on the floor in the room that I woke up in. There is also the word Anamnesis written underneath, underlined twice with a question mark. The page is not dated, and I realize that none of the pages are dated or numbered. The next page is more frantic, with a scrawl that reads, "They won't let me through. I know what I'm doing."
So glad this bit worked out as well as it did.
With more drawings of circles containing pentagrams underneath. The next page is the same messy handwriting with "I must remember" written over and over again, covering the entire page. Another page seems to be passages copied from a book. The recollection of innate knowledge from a previous existence. With an asterisk that has, "How do I get back there?" scribbled next to it and circled. Underneath the passage is the question, is that where they've gone? The next page only has one sentence at the top, as if the author meant to write more, but stopped. How dare the temple take ownership of their work after trying to stop B in the first place? How dare they feel entitled to their work?
I think that's 2 sentences. Whoops. Oh well. It's a comma. It was such a treat hearing the recording live with him. I'm glad we got to do that.
The final page I find is a journal entry.
I'm glad we got to do live recording. I think
the merchant at the market sold me the book.
Yeah, I'm glad that we got to kind of show that part of the process.
Much more for it. The elders at the temple believe they own the only copy. Wherever B has gone, I know I can find them with this. I don't know as much as they do about all this, but I have to try and find them. All of B's notes were confiscated by the temple, and they won't tell me anything. I have to do this on my own. I will find you, B. I have to.
Oh, Mark. Very good voice actor.
I sit,
Mark Galley.
Reading the last page over and over again. If these are my notes, I was trying to find someone. Or was I trying to follow them? I stay in the room, sitting on the floor, looking at the photographs and reading the notes, trying to remember. We found out about another world, a world parallel to our own. Something went wrong, and everyone was scared. I lost someone, and I realized I had to try and get them back, and that the only way to do that was to try and find this other world.
So, you made it. I wasn't entirely sure you would do it. You asked for a lot with this, and you didn't do everything right. I hope it was worth it to get here, and that was worth everything you've lost.
So I have something to talk about with that bit after the episode.
Did I get it wrong? Am I in the wrong place? All this work for an empty world with distant, forgotten memories? What's this? There's a photograph lying on the floor that I didn't see when I came in. It's another picture of the same couple that covers the wall in the study in front of the house. I still can't make out the faces. I turn it over and see that there's something written on the back. Find me.
Find me. Find me.
That's episode 3. So, first of all, sounds like tape. Wow, effective. Thank you. Like we used quite a few tape effects for this one, which was quite nice. Yeah, just so talking about Sam's dialogue kind of towards the end there. So it's exactly the same as what's in the first episode, but just due to the way the music is, so the music is different underneath it, and because of that, you hear different words. You hear different takes. Listening to it, because it's 2 takes layered on top of each other, but they sound different because the music is different and there's different frequencies kicking about. Oh, it sounds fantastic. It's an accidental thing, but it sounds really, 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 really good, I think. And yeah, just Mark Galley being an amazing voice actor and just being a fantastic human being. Please go and support. I'm gonna put the command in the chat, but please do go support and look up Mark Galley's stuff. Mark Galley is a fantastic voice actor, writer, poet, performer, all round amazing, beautiful human being. We very much like Mark Galley around these parts, and I'm really hoping that I get to work with him on something else in the future as well. He's been very clear, being like, honestly, anything you're making, let me know. You need a voice, please let me know. I'll be there within a couple of days. Like, Mark is very much part of the team now. Okay, episode four. Okay, let's move into episode 4. So this is my other favorite episode. You get to. This is an appearance of the fidget spinner cassette tape sound, which I still haven't found.
You have learned much about yourself. Take some time to reflect.
I find myself wandering up the stairs, up to a bedroom. I close my eyes and think about all that I've learned. None of it quite fits together.
Part of that tape
and I'm
sound
still
is a
not
fidget
sure
spinner.
about any of it. I still can't get a solid hold on the shadows of memory that gather on the edge of my subconscious. I came here to find someone. But why did they come here? Were they also looking for someone? Is that why people tried to stop us? A repeating pattern of people going missing, looking for missing people? Find me. There must be someone else here. Surely that's what this all means. Did whoever B is leave it here to be found? B. Something within me stirs as I think about B. A deep, longing feeling, coupled with anger and desperation, and a strange sense of pride.
That was an unprompted sound that Mark made during recording.
What have I done? I am trapped here in an empty world with nothing. Not even my name or any of my memories.
That's satisfying.
All I
Thank you.
have are shadows. And I don't even know if they're my shadows. I don't know anything anymore. I messed up. I got it wrong. I try to hold on to the idea that someone else is here, but I realize it doesn't matter. I am here because I didn't think. I didn't listen. I was told this would happen, but I didn't care. I was so angry at being told no, I let it drive me, urge me on to find out how I got here, to prove everyone wrong, find what I had lost, to fix everything. Just once. Finally fix something and make it right. And it would all be okay. We could put it behind us. And it would all you okay? I sit on the bed.
I bet Mark sounds like that on the
Shaking.
phone. Mark is one of the most gentlest people I know.
I am lost. And I don't know where to go.
He's very good at angry acting, though.
Or what to do. We were scholars. We spent our days in the temple library reading anything and everything. Testing theories, running experiments, uncovering lost insight and wisdom. We wanted to understand the world, the universe. We were allowed our curiosity, even encouraged at times. We thought we had reached the limits of what was knowable, and still we wanted more. We found more books, books written in hushed, forbidding tones and read in dark corners. We sought out long forgotten, long buried, long hidden writings, symbols. Then we started to disappear. We didn't see it at first. One person stops coming to the temple every day. It's not a cause for concern. But then it was 2 people. Then 3. The elders at the temple realized what was happening and decided it had to stop. There were only 2 of us left at that point. We had to know. We had to keep going. Our purpose was different now. We had to find our friends. We had to rescue them. We stole things. We lied. We hid things. Why did we ever think we would be spared what had happened to our friends? I sit on the bed. My eyes hurt. I don't remember who I am, who B is, who the others were. Maybe they don't remember, and that's all we are now. Shadows in an empty world, searching for our memories.
And that's episode 4. So bittersweet overall. All right, so bittersweet overall. Yeah, bittersweet's a good word for it. I mean, I like that's kind of where I like pitching my stories. When he comes home and tells you his day and you live it with him. To be fair, I think this is worth talking about. I think, if you watch the live the streams of the recording sessions with Mark, it's interesting when we decide we're gonna kind of format the scripts as poems, because me and Mark met through spoken word poetry, and it's interesting when you work with a voice actor who can read a script and kind of get the intonation without having stage direction. So that there's a bit in that episode. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Hold on. It's like the long
cause for concern. Long hidden writing
there
tones and read and
so this bit here.
Dark corners. We sought out long forgotten, long buried, long hidden writings.
Like just that the fact that the Mark kind of did that build naturally, and got that kind of rise from the text, I think is a testament to Mark as an actor. It sort of shows that it sounds like a strange thing to say, but it's like Mark is hearing it in his head, and it kind of, Mark has this ability to tune into the natural rhythm of a monologue, which I really like, and I think that comes from being a poet and from being a writer himself. So yeah, I think Mark is very animated, but also a fantastic voice actor. Great to work with. And if you go back and watch the the streams of the recordings. Like, you absolutely see, just wonderful to work with. Very, very silly as well. We end up making lots of Sonic the Hedgehog, not Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Adventure 2 references. Do you find he surprises you, brings something out you didn't know was there? Oh, well, you see, I get this from all the actors I work with. This is the wonderful thing. This is kind of true for Mark and also for David Pello and Katrina Allen, who are in the tower as well with Mark. It's one of the like I'm not usually very precious about dialogue. I don't write things with a specific way that they should be said. But I think I'm very fortunate to work with very conscientious actors who consistently bring out things that I didn't see. And it's interesting when you kind of bring in actors as collaborators rather than performers, because they can have a really positive effect on the story and the writing, because they end up understanding the characters better than you do. Like they're focusing on one specific aspect of a story, whereas as the writer or the director, you're kind of having to focus on all of it. So I think letting the actors have the space to explore their characters and giving the actors the space to put their own spin on things, I think is important. I think that's more valuable to me than whatever my vision is, or I don't know what the audio equivalent of that would be. Mark, like, you can hear it in the performance. Like there were multiple monologues in this series that I was like, I'm going to put music under this, or I'm going to put extra voices or anything over the top of this, and then I've just gone, no, I don't need to. Like, Mark's nailed it. Mark's done it perfect. And yeah, Mark is also very, very good at taking direction as well, which is also important. It's like playing in a band. Playing in a band is a really good analogy for it. It always turns out more creative than you thought. Like, yeah, it's having the it's a strange one, because I'm so used to doing everything myself, like doing all of it. I think the expectation is that I'm very specific, and I don't necessarily think. I think I am when it comes to things like sound design, but for acting, I'm much more interested in seeing what the actors come up with, how the actors view it, and what the actors want to do. Yeah, Dylan has given me free reign to add / improv in Woe Begone, and mostly what I've done with the privilege is add more puns. You and David Pello would get on very, very well. So there are so many outtakes from the Middle Below recording sessions where Pello just decided to ad-lib. And so the thing is, so Pello and I were once in an improv team together. And I'm not going to go so far as to say it was a good improv team, but Pello is much better at it than I am. So Pello in particular is very good at making me laugh without trying very hard, and I don't understand the power he has over me. But there are many recordings in the Middle Below archives of Pello just saying something and me buckling, and yeah, but yeah, voice actors should be allowed to add more puns. That's, you don't have to keep them in or anything, but I think that's a killer power. It is. I don't understand, because the thing is, right, there was a point where excuse me, like it started out I was the captain of the improv team. And Pello was a member, and then Pello became the captain after I left. For some reason, when I left and Pello took over, I stopped being funny. I stopped being good. Pello, however, just carried on. The equivalent of I stopped being captain of the Enterprise and went to live in a vineyard in France, whereas Pello went on to become an admiral. It's a very specific reference, but anyway, let's move on. Okay, so we're moving on to the. So I think the last episode when we were making it, I was really worried because Pello is a great fellow. That is very, very true. But yeah, the last episode I was really worried about because first of all it was really short, and second of all it just sort of finished and didn't really have. I wasn't really sure how it was gonna play out. But I think what saves this episode is the community recordings. I think what saves this episode is the audio that the listener submitted audio is what saves this episode. I think it works story-wise. It sort of brings them in a bit more. It brings those voices in a bit more and gives them a bit more character towards the end. But then also I think as well, it's for me, it's really good because it almost gives the community voices a bit of a chance to have their own space. So I was really glad that we got to do that, but also it meant that episode 5 works, which is also good, and I'm also very happy about. So as much as when I was pitching to people, kind of saying, yeah, it'll be very much like background voices, I think they do play an incredibly important role in the narrative, and I think they're probably the most experimental part of this experimental audio drama. But yeah, let's listen to episode 5.
Your past may shape your experiences, your thoughts, your desires, but it does not define you. You are in control of your own path. The road ahead may be built from the stones that you've gathered, but these fragments of your past do not dictate where it leads. It is time to move forward.
I sleep and wake up to the same wind and rain as before. The same grey space, the same strange facsimile of a forgotten life, a forgotten world. I am lost in an empty world that my friends may also be lost in, somewhere. We came here out of our own ambition and
I'll talk
hubris,
about this after the thing. But yeah.
and we paid for that with our memories. We were all taken from the world we knew and transplanted into another without any remembrance of what came before. But I remembered something. Not everything, but enough. And if I can remember, there is a chance that others remember too, and that they are also searching. There are many things I do not remember. Maybe I'll never remember. But that is not what matters now. What matters is that I am here, and that there may be others here, and that if there are others, I need to find them. This world is strange. An empty reflection of a place filled with life, with knowledge, with hope. If we were able to make it here, maybe together, we can find a way back. I open the door to the wind and the rain. I feel the cold air on my face and wet tears sting my cheeks. I pull the coat towards me and head out into the empty town.
I'm really happy with this last bit. It just fades down to the footsteps. Oh, very proud of that. And then we get the credits! This is my time to shine. Anamnesis was performed by Mark Galley. with sound design and music by David Devereaux. Additional voices by Sam Lee,
Anamnesis.
Michelle Can,
Anamnesis.
Tang Whistle,
Anamnesis.
Francesca Erasmus Ross,
Anamnesis.
Ryan Barrowman,
Anamnesis.
Kat Fireblade,
Anamnesis.
Michael Furo,
Anamnesis.
Ollie Morris,
Anamnesis.
and Mark Galley.
Anamnesis.
Artwork by Erasmus. Really happy we got to do that. Featuring samples of the audiobook version of Anamnesis narrated by Sam Lee, used with permission. This audio drama was made live on stream at twitch.tv/tincanaudio. Our viewers would like to clarify that no books were harmed in the making of this show. Anamnesis was written by David Devereaux, adapted from a playthrough of Anamnesis written by Sam Lee and published by Blinking Birch Games. It was made for the 2022 Anamnesis Jam and is a Tin Can Audio production. Thank you for listening. So I think it's worth saying the start of each episode, that's from the Anamnesis game book. That's Sam's writing rather than mine. Sampled from taken from the audiobook version and sampled with permission. Sam was very graceful and allowed us to use it, which is fantastic. But yeah, that's the series. That is Anamnesis. That is Tin Can Audio's latest audio drama. I didn't realize this, but turns out there's a lot of extra things you have to consider when you go from having 4 audio dramas to 5. The big one being this is technically now out of date, so that's something we need to do at some point. That's something we need to fix. So that's Anamnesis. I'm going to pop this down just for a bit while we just chat a bit more. So that is our new show. So that was 35 minutes. I think it's 35 minutes overall. Just under 35 minutes. What a good experience to party to. to be party to. Thanks for sharing with us. Yeah, I really loved it. Like, I want to make more audio dramas on stream. I want to do this more. As much as I enjoyed making I think that's what I really enjoy doing. I really enjoy making stuff on stream that has that is for something. So like when we were working on the music for Upriver Downriver, I really enjoyed that, and I feel like the fact that it was for something made it much more worthwhile tuning in every week. Whereas if it was just like, oh, I'm just going to make some music for the sake of making music, it was still fun and it was still good, but it didn't feel like it had a purpose or had a place afterwards. So I think that's kind of one of the reasons I've enjoyed this so much. But also I really enjoyed writing on stream. Like writing on stream was fantastic. Like, I did not realize I was going to enjoy writing on stream as much as I did. And yeah, just like doing the whole process like this was great, and it meant that at a time when I had a lot of work on and a lot of stress in outside and being freelance, it meant that I had at least 4 to 6 hours every week just making an audio drama that didn't need to be anything other than itself, and it was more about just the process of making a thing rather than the thing itself. As much as I'm extremely proud of this show and how it's turned out, and I think it's great that we've had such an audience for it as well. I think that was the other surprising thing is that people were genuinely interested in watching this process. I don't know if you can hear it, but my cat is snoring. It's quite off-putting. Yes. So thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in and watching these streams. Thank you for being supportive and asking questions and being encouraging and making silly jokes and Did you not feel the weight of us all on your shoulder? Well, you see, I thought I would, but if anything, it's kind of done the opposite. I think it's sort of it's been weirdly liberating, because so much of the time when I'm so much of this process, you know, the writing, the scripting, the editing process, you know, it's still me doing this. It's still me sitting at my computer, but I'm by myself. You know, I don't talk to anyone. Bonsai Gem, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you very much for the stream. We're kind of not too far away from the end, but thank you very much for following, and I hope you enjoy your time here. Yeah, I think it's been good having other people here while I'm working. It's meant that I don't necessarily know if it's meant the process has been faster than it would be otherwise. But it did feel like it didn't feel as lonely as it can, and it didn't feel as stressful because it meant that if something wasn't working, I could talk it out. I didn't feel self-conscious about talking it out, you know. If I had an idea for something, I could kind of go, right, this is what I'm thinking, and I'd kind of verbalize it out loud. So basically what I'm saying is I think I need like a rubber duck or something, you know, the I have so many things I can talk to on my desk. That sounds weird. But yeah, I need like a thing I can, like, I've realized that talking out loud when I'm trying to figure something out helps me a lot. And I think a big part of that has been doing these streams. And making this project, like, and I've said already on other streams and things, like I think this project has definitely unlocked something in my brain, and it's making me want to make more experimental projects, just kind of that are just there to exist. So it was a privilege to be a rubber duck. Thank you very much. You made a very good rubber duck. And yeah, I'll have a. For the next few streams, I think it'll be going back to making music and playing around with some new things. Hello, Retro Phrenologist. Thanks for sharing. I've enjoyed listening to it. I'm glad you've enjoyed. Oh goodness, we're having a pirate raid. Hello. Thank you, everyone coming over. Thank you, everyone on the Queer Pirate Raid. Hello, Queer Buccaneer. Hello, Sweet Tangerine. I'm sorry I couldn't stick around too much for the Hypnospace Outlaw stream, but it was fantastic. I was having a great time. And hello, Erasmus. Hello. Oh, it's good to have everyone here. I'm basically just talking about how great it's been to make an audio drama on stream in front of people. I think after this we're definitely going back to making music for a bit. But I am gonna have a think. Good evening, Erasmus. I hope you're having a great day. You sort of missed us going on about how great we think your artwork is. The artwork you are seeing on screen right now is done by Erasmus. It's amazing. I love it very, very much. It's absolutely perfect for this new audio drama show. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make some music on stream for the next few weeks, and while I kind of come up with an idea, I do want to make another audio drama thing. I don't know if it'll be as intense a process as this, because you know this was what, 35 minutes. It took 8 weeks to make, and that's, you know, and that was only really, and that was maybe what 4 to 6 hours a week. If you look at the YouTube playlist of the stream archive, it's like nearly 2 days worth of solid, like, continuous work to get 35 minutes worth of audio drama. Like, I think if anything, it's been interesting to see just how long it takes to make an audio drama and to make a podcast like this. That's pretty quick, but if you think 35 minutes is not very long for an audio drama at all. Automateer, thank you very much for the follow. I hope you enjoy your time here. Thank you very much for tuning in. The script and audio and music are all amazing. Thank you very much. I'm really proud of how this has turned out. I think it's definitely in terms of the sound design and the music, I've definitely learned a lot, which is what I kind of want from all my projects, is that I come out of them learning something new. So about an hour for a minute. That yeah, I'd say so. But like that's kind of everything. That's writing, scripting, recording, editing, and then composing as well. So if you think the episodes for this series are really short, to the point where it's kind of putting them in the podcast feed has been a bit of an issue, because obviously you don't want to put ads on something that's only 6.5 minutes long, whereas the sort of ideal audio drama episode, you want it to be sort of 12 to 15 minutes, so it takes even longer. But yeah, I think it's been illuminating for me. I hope it's been illuminating and useful to other people as well. I think in terms of how many song tracks 35 minutes would take for me to put together. Yeah, I guess, but this is a very different beast, I think. The processes are very different. I guess with songwriting you don't really have, pre-production. I don't want to derail the stream, but do you still have jelly beans? Yes, I do. I still have jelly beans. I'm getting through these alarmingly quickly. I need to stop. Excellent. That's a jelly bean break. Thank you. I was waiting for that. Okay. So it's getting to the stage where the ones that I'm not so keen on are starting to appear more often. Well, I believe that is. Ooh, I think that's a lemon one. Lovely. The trick to jelly beans is to not open the jar. I know. I have many channel points. Amazing. Alas, time for me to go. Congrats again on the successful project and happy launch day to all. Thank you for sticking around, Mysterious. We will hopefully see you soon. So the trick to jelly beans is not. So I bought these thinking, oh, it's good. I can offer them to people when they come round to record. Completely forgetting, of course, that it's very rare for me to have people round to record. Maybe do recordings, actively do recordings, maybe 3 times a year. Meanwhile, I'm in here every day with the jelly beans. So, yeah. Anyway, okay. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Just because I'm running out of things to talk about. But thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do go check out Anamnesis. It is available on the It is available on the Tin Can Audio Presents feed. Artwork is by the fantastic Queer Buccaneer, who I believe is still in the chat. It's a fantastic piece of artwork for the podcast, and they turned it around very quickly, which I very much appreciate. You get so all the episodes are in the podcast feed, and along with the soundtrack mix as well. It is also available on Bandcamp. That's probably the best place if you want to support what we do here. You can get it there, ad-free, all the episodes plus the soundtrack. And it is also available on itch.io as well, which is what you've been looking at this whole stream. So thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you so much for coming. The little ghost is so cute. Where are we looking at? Are we talking about the... Whereabouts is it? Oh, on the thing. Yeah, sorry. There's so many little ghosts kicking around me at all times. I was unsure what you were talking about. But anyway, yes. So there will be no stream on Wednesday because I'm going to see Florence and the Machine, and it's a gig that has been postponed, and so I'm very, very excited to see. So no stream on Wednesday, but we'll be back on Monday, 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern. So please enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll hopefully see you soon. Good night.